Hello, my curious souls. Welcome in or welcome back. My name is Amanda, and today we are going to spin the wheel of fortune together and see what fate has in store for you today. We are going to be looking at changes or unexpected shifts, surprising turns, and opportunities. And hopefully, this reading will allow you to navigate this energy a little bit better and learn to flow with the cycles of life without getting too thrown off with this energy. So there's going to be a bonus oracle card reading at the end of each one of these soul paths today, and I'm calling that the plot twist. And that might give you further guidance on your soul path, or that might give you completely new perspective on something and maybe even offer a few surprises as well. So stick around to the end of your reading to see what those oracle piles will be. And as always, with these readings, they're here to offer insight, not instruction. So please take whatever is resonating with you, trust your intuition, and lovingly leave the rest for who it is meant for. If you'd like to book a personal reading, purchase my oracle decks, or sign up to my monthly newsletter, the links for all of that is in the description box below. I am in the midst of designing a new oracle deck, and so I will be sharing all of the information and artwork with my newsletter subscribers. So definitely, if you're interested, do check that out. I would be honored to have you be part of that list. So if you're ready to jump in, all of the timestamps for these soul paths are in the description box, but if you'd like a quick introduction and close-up of everything, stay with me and I'll walk you through them right now. For soul path 1, we have the Wheel of Fortune card from the Wild Reflections Tarot with the orange calcite stone, with the number 9 on the die here. Hopefully you can see that. For Soul Path 2, we have the Wheel of Fortune from the Landscapes Tarot with the opalite stone and the number 7 on the die. And for Soul Path 3, we have the Wheel of Fortune from the Magical Creatures Tarot with the purite stone and the number 2 on the die. I think that's a number 2, yeah. All right, so when you are ready, head into the description box to click on the timestamp for your reading, and I'll meet you over there. Hello, my Soul Path 1, welcome into your reading. You chose the Wheel of Fortune card from the Wild Reflections Tarot with the orange calcite stone and the number 9 die. So there could be something coming to an end that you don't expect. You could be completing something ahead of time. You could be also beginning something ahead of time as well. So before we get into your reading, I'm going to pull a mystery bonus card, which will be revealed at the end of your reading. And don't forget, at the end of the reading, there will be a plot twist pick a card portion where we are just getting into random oracle messages, and it's kind of like a mini pick a card reading. And so if you want additional information or messages, you can go ahead and pick another pile to see what that plot twist might be. Or maybe a surprise or a challenge or an opportunity. We won't know until we get there. So I'm just shuffling and going to pull the top card as the mystery card will be revealed at the end. Let's get into your reading and look at what is this unexpected shift, surprising turns, or the energy that is changing. Let's take a look. We'll get 3 cards. It might reveal the surprise, the challenge, the opportunity, and maybe how to flow with this change. Oh, 9 of Cups. So you're looking good, feeling good. that's something that might be shifting. You might not be in the moment looking good, feeling good. In a sense where you might be feeling run down and maybe looking really tired or not looking like yourself. So I really feel like this is a bit of a what the kids call glow up. So you're starting to feel better, maybe from within. So you're starting to dress differently, you're starting to wear your hair differently, you're starting to maybe emote differently as well. Maybe even share your emotions or feel like you're really doing the things that you love, and that might not be your current experience, and there could be a reason for that, but we're not looking at that. We're looking at the unexpected shifts and what fate has in store for you. I think you're meant to feel good about yourself, and I think you are meant to really shine in a certain area of your life. Now, looking at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Cups. So you could get some really good news that makes you feel good. You could be receiving lots of compliments or lots of admiration for something as well. So that could be something quite surprising for you because you're not used to that. Now, the Five of Wands in reverse here tells me that, there's some level of competition here. I don't know if this has to do with love relationships. Could be for some, not all. But there's this sense of other people competing for your attention. So you're no longer having to compete to be seen or compete to be in the forefront of something. Or, I just feel like the surprise is that you're going to have people vying for your attention. So that could be in career. Maybe you get a lot of offers and people are trying to give you the best offer so that you take their project or you go for their job position. So there's almost like a headhunting energy coming through with that. But also in relationships, I feel like you're going to have a lot of people wanting to be with you, around you, date you. So you could be kind of not knowing, what do I do? I've got so many options. But I don't feel like this is you competing for other people or having competing needs or desires. This is other people competing for you, for your attention, for your affections even, for your gifts. So this is a really beautiful kind of energy here. And the best way to flow with this change is to just be in it, to just continue to flow with this energy, to use it to your advantage, and to not push it away, not ask questions, not doubt, but to really see the creation and the transformation that comes from this energy. I think there's going to be a lot of creative energy around you. So use that to your advantage in however you see fit. Use this as inspiration for something, and I don't know what that means or how that's going to unfold. So wherever you are at, if you're feeling kind of like you're in a funk, I think you're coming out of that funk. So I want to get a little more information of why this is happening. Why is this happening for Soul Path 1? What is the trigger? What is the catalyst? Four of Wands in reverse. Okay, so there could be a dissolution of marriage for some connection, or there could be you not feeling comfortable or harmonious in your current relationships or maybe environment as well. Maybe you feel like you can't grow or be your true self in a specific situation or around specific people. The Four of Wands is usually our foundations, our home, our roots. So this is almost a detachment from whatever that is that's feeling a little disharmonious, and you no longer putting your energy into trying to find some kind of foundation with that person or that situation. It's you kind of distancing yourself from that so you can be in your own energy, so that you can be in your fullest expression. Really celebratory energy with that Nine of Cups. I just get so much Venusian energy from that. I just get so much love and so much self-love. I think you're really proud of something here. And that might come to a surprise because right now you could be in this energy of the Four of Wands in reverse where home's not feeling good, or my environment isn't feeling good, and I'm not feeling good maybe within my body. So that could be the catalyst to shifting something there. And again, there's not only a physical aspect to this, so again, dressing differently, wearing your hair differently, but expressing differently as well, emoting differently, because I feel you're going to come into a space that allows you to be who you are. But I think you're taking that step first. You're not waiting for that environment to show up or to be a certain way before you step into that energy. You are just stepping into that energy because you want it and you deserve it. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to be proud of yourself. You deserve to care for yourself. So let's just get a couple more cards to finish up your reading here. And then we will look at the mystery card and close out your reading. Okay, Four of Swords. There's definitely some feelings of you're kind of taking a time out here. You're taking a time out, maybe doing some healing. So this could be healing within the mental space, looking at your thought patterns, looking at the foundation of where your thoughts are coming from, where they're stemming from, especially if they are negative and they are affecting you negatively. It's like, well, why am I thinking that? Is that coming from my current experience, or is it something that I felt and experienced in my past? So I think there's a real unraveling of your thoughts happening, but you're giving yourself space to kind of work through that. So that's really nice. And because that is happening, there could be this healing that happens as a result. So you're building some new foundations here overall. And you're really getting to the root cause of things, which I think is really going to, it's kind of work within that you're doing. And that's why it is being expressed outwardly in the Nine of Cups here, because you've done that work within. And I don't think you expect that to happen where you do this work and all of a sudden you feel differently and people are noticing, oh, you look different. What have you done? I think it's not just one thing. It's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. So there's a sense of you possibly having to make some decisions at some point in time, because we have two twos here. We've got the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck and the Two of Swords in reverse. So I think that the introspection, quite possibly with this Four of Swords, is kind of clarifying something for you, and you're going to start making decisions for your future, not from your past. So that's really lovely, where you are really setting a plan in motion. You are having a different intent and creating something brand new for you, for your future. So this might be a little bit different because I don't think you've been here before, in a sense where maybe you've always used your logic to make decisions. You've always looked to the external to kind of give you clues as to what decisions to make. But I think the new decisions that you're making are coming from some kind of internal inspiration and what you are inspired to create. So there's a self-acceptance here that is coming through, and I think there's new horizons happening as a result. There's new experiences as a result. So it's like you've taken a few steps back here so that you can take action in a new way and have new results, new outcomes, new experiences. And you're no longer staying stuck in trying to get all of the information to make a decision. You're kind of going on instinct. You're going on what it is that I know in this moment in time, what it is that I need to feel good about myself and about my direction. So I think that's a really beautiful energy and something that I don't think you see coming. So let's look at your bonus card. Treasure Island, another number 9. So 9s are also pretty significant for you. I think this Treasure Island is really speaking to me because there's this water energy with the 9 of Cups, and there's just this outpouring of love. There's also a big connection to the sea in both of these. So you could be a water sign and you're stepping more into that energy, a little bit more vulnerable with yourself, a little bit working with your sensitivities, a little bit more of really feeling through life more and using your emotions to gather information about who you are. I also think that there's going to be a lot of treasures that you uncover about yourself as well. So things that you never thought possible and who you never thought you were, I think you're going to surprise even yourself in this. So this is a really cool spin of the wheel that you have selected here. I really think there's a lot of sovereignty, a lot of independence, and a lot of self-love. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 1. I will put an image up on the screen right after this, and if you would like to pick your next pick a card oracle for your plot twist, then you can take a peek at those 3 cards and then head down into the description for your part 2. But if not, I do hope these resonated with you and offered you a little bit of excitement or clarity or guidance that you needed to maybe start embracing this energy. Feel free to share your thoughts or takeaways in the comments about this reading or about the subject. And do feel free to suggest any topics that you would like me to read upon next. So until next time, I'm sending you so much love and encouragement on your path. Stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Wheel of Fortune card from the Landscapes Tarot. And what is this? Not clear quartz, definitely not obsidian. We have the opalite. Oh my goodness. So there could be something that you're stuck on here. There could be something that you just can't quite figure out. You can't quite pick up on something. It's on the tip of your tongue or kind of within reach, but you just don't know how to get there. And so there could be a little bit of setback energy going on. You could be evaluating or analyzing something, trying to figure something out. So let's take a peek at your reading. But first, we're going to pull a mystery card, which we will reveal at the end of your reading. And then hang out until the end of the reading where you get to possibly pick, you can pick, if you would like, 3 oracle cards to send you into a part 2 reading where we will look at a potential plot twist. And I really don't know what that looks like or what that's going to entail. But we're experimenting here, so let me know if you find this reading enjoyable. Spirit really encouraged me to have fun on this one. So I do hope you're going to enjoy the messages today, regardless of whether you are here just in this reading or in the plot twist as well. So, could also feel like your patience is being tested, or your will is being tested, or your decisions are being tested. And so there's a little bit of doubt coming through. Should I do this? Should I keep going? Or do I need to reevaluate and adjust and do something different or approach something in a different way? And the 7th house is ruled by Libra, so there's some balancing coming through here that you might be doing. Sorry, that's just something that came through there very spontaneously. So let's take a look. Energy that is shifting. For Soul Path 2, please. Page of Wands, 4 of Swords, and 1 more. 2 of Wands. Something is getting you, or will get you, curious here. There's something about feeling really inspired to do something differently. I feel like there's a sense of a new mission or a purpose coming through that you would like to follow with great curiosity and even a playful energy. There's also a sense that you see something where nothing exists yet. So you see some kind of opportunity, or you have some kind of idea about what you'd like to do for your future, and you want to act on it. And people around you might be thinking, what are you talking about? They might not quite understand this shift that is coming through for you. But you have this, almost this gut instinct, and you want to feel inspired. You want to have an adventure. You want to get curious about what else there is. Now, this could be a physical travel experience where you explore new lands and get out of your comfort zone. Or this could be a creative project, maybe a new career path, or maybe opening your own business. So it's creating something where nothing exists yet, and you have this vision. Maybe this psychic download, or maybe you have some kind of premonition about something, and it just feels correct to you, even though in the logical sense it may not be quite understood by you or others at this moment in time. But you're feeling really inspired to explore a little bit, to experiment, and to see what comes. There's just an opening of possibilities that are coming through. I think this could potentially be inspired by some news that you receive, possibly from afar, or maybe you are encouraged to make some kind of decision, and it inspires you to go in a completely new direction. Now, I feel the challenge or opportunity in this might be you needing to take a step back to evaluate something, to understand something before you make a choice. So this could be quite exciting for you. I feel a lot of excitement with this Page of Wands, like I'm inspired, let's go. But I think that there's a guidance here to take pause, to take a step back, and to ground yourself before making decisions so that you can be really strategic about some kind of execution of this plan or this idea. That is going to guarantee a little more success than if you were to impulsively chase this idea or this inspiration without much thought. So I think Spirit wants you to, when this opportunity arrives or when this news comes through and you get this spark of inspiration to take action on something, I think it could quite possibly be out of left field. So when we are talking about unexpected shifts and surprising turns here. So it might be like, boom, bang, like, whoa, that's inspiring. Let's do it. Let's go. Yes, 100%. But there needs to be some things put in place first so that whatever it is you are doing has the best possible chance of success here. And it may require you to leave the comforts of home as well. So that might be a little bit of a challenge for you. So let's get some more cards here, just to get a little more detail on why it might be happening and some guidance. So High Priestess at the bottom of the deck there. We have a bonus card underneath the World. I will look at that in a sec. So this is really trusting your intuition here, your inner knowing. And that inner knowing doesn't necessarily mean that just because it's exciting, just because it's inspiring, that does not mean it's the correct thing for you in this moment. So definitely tap in with, is this correct, or am I being taken down a temptation path? For some reason, that just came through. So that is going to be for some, not all. But I really think trusting your intuitive hunches of what is that next correct step in this moment, and maybe even at what pace should I be moving towards this opportunity or this energy shift. And again, the High Priestess is in the upright, she's a very passive energy. She patiently waits to receive information from her inner knowing. She gets into a space of stillness, of quietude, to be able to hear her inner voice. So that when she hears that inner voice, she can then either relay that to people in her external world, or she can take action on that at the appropriate time. So I think there could be possible impatience coming through, or an impulsivity and not trusting or not taking the time to truly listen to your inner knowing. So I think that's going to be really important. That space, that respite before taking the actual action is going to be super important along this journey. Now, I definitely feel with this new opportunity, with this new spark of inspiration, there is going to be, again, we get travel, more travel. So again, there could be a physical travel where you are traveling to new landscapes. There could be a physical move somewhere. So again, getting out of the comforts of home, I think, is going to be part of this shift and what you don't see. But also there's this freedom that comes with the world as well, where you're breaking away from old structures, old patterns, old cycles, and you're starting a new chapter for yourself. The fool follows this world. So again, it's being open to possibilities where none exists, and to really just take things day by day without taking so much risk that you compromise your future. You compromise the possible success of whatever it is you're doing. Now, underneath that is the Four of Cups in reverse. So I think you're no longer settling for less. You're no longer settling for what currently is that may be unfulfilling or boring, or you're not settling for complacency. So I think whatever you might be going through right now might feel a little stifling, might feel a little uninspiring. So you get to some kind of breaking point where you're like, no, that's it. Let's go. Let's do. And that's great. Do not tamper that energy, but also be really mindful about how you execute. That just keeps coming through. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but there's definitely going to be some decisions here with the Two of Swords. And I think they're going to be decisions based on instinct and intuition and not logic. Because there is a chance that once you get into this energy of stillness, you start to overthink, you start to overprocess, you start to find the right action so that you can prevent making mistakes. So I think there's going to be a balance that needs to happen or come in. You know, what's that balance of that impulsively, let's do this thing, and ooh, I'm really doubting this thing because it's a risk, right? So what is that balanced decision that you can make in this moment? And we did talk about that at the beginning with that Libran energy because of this number 7 that came through. And the Page of Cups in reverse. Don't forget to have a little fun along the journey. Don't forget to be playful and experiment and be open to the things that might come through on an emotional level. Save space for the good emotions, the bad emotions, the uncomfortable emotions, the dark emotions, and also the surprising emotions that you might come across. Don't suppress your inner child. You know, there's definitely more creativity that I feel wants to come through, but there is potential to suppress it again. You know, if we make too many plans, then it suppresses that creativity. It suppresses that vulnerability and that open-heartedness to exploring. So again, with this whole thing, I'm just getting a ton of balance. Balancing the energies as best you can once you come across this energy and all of these emotions that kind of pull you into a new direction. Trust your instinct. Take time out to make decisions, but not too much time. And plan for your future, but don't overplan. Leave some room for fun and spontaneity. So let's look at your bonus card here, your mystery card, a change in the wind. Yes, you definitely, I feel, are changing directions in some regard. And I think it's going to be a really, really adventurous change for you. And I think could possibly be a long time coming. So that's quite exciting. You'll have to let me know in the comments if that does come through at any point in the next 12 months. So these are the message I have for you today, my dear Soul Path 2. In a moment, I will put up the photo of the 3 oracle cards for the plot twist bonus reading, and you can click on the timestamp of which one you choose by using the links in the description box to hear further messages for your journey. And that is all I have. So I do hope these insights resonated with you and offered the clarity that you needed. Again, feel free to share your thoughts or takeaways in the comments below. Let me know if you like the topic of this reading or if there's any other readings that you would like me to do in the future. Until next time, I'm sending you love and encouragement on your path. Stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Wheel of Fortune from the Magical Creatures Tarot with the Pure Purite Stone and the number 2. There could be some choices that you're making right now. You might even be looking to psychics, mediums, tarot readers for guidance and advice at this time, or at least some spiritual direction. So I think you get the feeling that you're an open book to other people's opinions and advice. Spirit is showing me a caution sign that tells me that you need to be careful about whose opinion you accept or consider, because not all opinions or advice are either worthwhile or coming from a good place. So just be careful. And also, accepting too much energy and opinions and advice from other people really muddles your own intuition. So that is something that's coming through there. Okay, so we picked a bonus card that will come out at the end of your reading. And don't forget to stick around to the very end, where I will show you cards for a bonus oracle card reading, which will be short in nature. I'm calling it the plot twist, so maybe what else might be happening along this journey for you. That is optional. It's just something fun that I was called to do. And yeah, so feel free to participate if you are so called. But let's get into your reading now. Let's see what is currently shifting for you. 3 cards for what is currently shifting. Show us unexpected shifts, surprising turns. For Soul Path 3, please. Opportunities, challenges, surprises. Oh, okay. Something might come in all at once. So as they say, when it rains, it pours, and I hope that it's a good raining, pouring situation. Okay. So we have the 7 of Swords, we have the 6 of Wands, and we have the Knight of Coins in reverse. I'm getting something super random with this, so I'll say it. You can let me know if it happens. There's something that you're going to do in secret that is going to be recognized or acknowledged by others, almost in a way that doesn't make sense, because you're doing something almost not maliciously, but you're doing something in private. You're keeping something to yourself. This almost gives me like something gets leaked, but it becomes a really wild success. And you're celebrated for it, you're recognized for it, you're acknowledged for it. Or there's some kind of strategy that you implement that ends up bringing what looks like overnight success. And I don't know what that means and in what context, but there's a strategy shift that you try, that you maybe don't talk about, but you try, you experiment with, and you all of a sudden see like an uptick in sales, or an uptick in people noticing you, or somebody sharing something that you have kind of done maybe online, and because of that share you get all these eyeballs on you, you get all of these orders, whatever it is. Now, I think the guidance for this is to not get too carried away. That I think there's a moment to just revel in the success. And I don't really know what that means. So again, coming back to that idea of choices, I think there needs to be an exploration of what choices you can make to try new things, to maybe get beyond what you're comfortable with. And you don't have to share it with the world. You can just try it behind closed doors and see how it feels. And because when we share stuff too soon before something is ready, then it kind of deflates the balloon. It kind of deflates our motivation even. So I think that's part of this advice, is to not share something too soon, because I think you're still going to be working something out, but for some reason in that process of kind of bringing your energy in and kind of just focusing on the plan and the strategy and kind of the thought process you have to have in place, it's like all of a sudden the switch gets turned on and you're seen by the outside world in some regard. You're celebrated for something that you have done. And maybe you don't even know what you've done, but all of a sudden you just get a flood of attention or a flood of orders or recognition. There's also a surprise party coming through. So if somebody's going to have a surprise party, maybe somebody's planning a surprise party. So I think part of that advice is to not be afraid of that surprise, but to just enjoy it, because maybe you are uncomfortable with putting yourself out there and being seen and being celebrated. And so maybe that's why you're kind of doing things in, I don't want to say in secret because it sounds malicious, but in private. You want to keep things private. You want to keep things to yourself for a time. But no, you're getting celebrated here. So just enjoy it. Don't try to downplay it, because I feel this success is well deserved. Whatever it is, this celebration is well deserved. So get comfortable being celebrated. One more, or not one more, we're going to get a few more just to see why it's happening and any other advice that wants to come through. Okay, so we have 9 of Swords here. This feels very isolated energy, secluded energy, kind of doing things or having to do things on your own. And maybe that's what's shifting for you, is that you no longer have to do something on your own. There's a worry or a stress here about maybe being alone, being isolated, being lonely. There's some overthinking that's going on, because I think there's a lot to think about. Maybe there's a lot of choices that you have to make. And I think that might play into the whole being private thing. It's like you're dealing with stuff, but at the same time you possibly have a fear of sharing, of putting yourself out there, of being vulnerable. I do think that you've done some work here, or maybe that's what you're doing, is you're doing some work to, I'm getting a really tight heart space energy coming through. So I almost wonder if you're working to soften, you're working on healing something. And because of you doing that, it's like you want to get out of your mind and into your body. And I think with that shift, you are starting to act in a different way, take action in a different way, spend your time in a different way. So not to say that these anxieties or these stresses or worries completely go away, but you found some way to manage them. And I think that is what people are being drawn to or picking up on, is that you are feeling better about your situation or about yourself. You've done some work on possibly your anxiety or the way you manage stress. Maybe you've implemented new practices to get into your body more, whether it's somatic movement or breath work or yoga, or I don't know, whatever kind of exercise you're doing to get into that physical body and relieve the mind. This could be something you're doing within your own home, within your own private time. And so when you do step out into the world, people are noticing. And it may kind of throw you off. to be quite honest, because you're not used to being so out there with your feelings, with your thoughts, with being seen. I feel like you're a very private person. So when this celebration or this attention happens, it's like, oh my God, how do I do this? How do I manage this? How do I deal with this? It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But I think it's going to take some time and decisions of what is the highest priorities that I need to tackle at this time. How much time do I have or effort do I have to maybe reply to all these emails I'm getting, or to fulfill the orders, or to respond to all these inquiries, whatever it is. Or even as it pertains to a surprise party. Oh my goodness, like, who do I speak to first, and what do I do? There's so many people here celebrating me. There's an overwhelm that happens with that Two of Pentacles in reverse. So you might need a minute to gather yourself and just kind of settle into the energy and ground yourself using that practices, to not allow the anxiety and the worry and the stress of the moment, or the stress of being seen for who you are and celebrated for who you are, kind of take over. And we have the King of Coins here in reverse. So with all of this celebration energy, there could be some indulgence that comes with that. I want to say that it's been a while. It's been a lot of hard work. So I think you should celebrate yourself. There could be a little bit of reluctance in indulging, or in maybe spending some money on yourself, investing in something as well. But this feels like a time where it's not a moment to continue to be productive for material gains. I feel like this is a moment to really reward yourself and to enjoy the fruits of your labor here, to possibly share it with others as well, and take pause along this journey to do that. This really feels like you're being shaken out of a rut here. Shaken out of something that feels comfortable and maybe even secure or predictable, into something that's a little bit more spontaneous and exciting almost. So let's look at the bottom, or the mystery card here, exchanging gifts. So we have some gift energy coming in here. And this is either a gift from the universe, or this is gifts that are being given to you by other people, where it is orders, it is physical gifts, especially if this is a surprise party. And so, yeah, getting into that receiving energy too, also because the cups are missing. It's like the cups kind of hold our emotions, and the cups are the things that fulfill us and allow us to receive the love that we give. So that could be part of your advice, is to really work on receiving compliments, receiving accolades, receiving gifts in whatever form they come to you in. So this is what I have for you, my dear Soul Path 3. If you wanted to hop into your plot twist portion, or the part 2 of the reading, I will put a photo of the 3 cards that you can choose from. And you can click on the timestamp for your chosen pile in the description box. But if not, I do hope these insights resonated and offered the clarity that you needed. Feel free to share your thoughts or takeaways in the comments, and let me know if you like the theme of this reading, or if you have any other topics that you'd like me to explore. I would love to hear that. Until next time, my friends, I'm sending you love and encouragement on your path. Stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, my friends. You chose the obstacle card, the number 32, overcoming a blockage on your path. So with this fate, I feel there is going to be an obstacle that feels pretty big that you have to decide whether or not to overcome, go around it, go back. So let's take a peek at maybe what this obstacle is. I'm going to keep this pretty quick. And then we'll get a final card on how to overcome it, or what to consider. What is this obstacle? Ah, okay. Remember why you're doing something. So along your path, you might start having doubts. That could be the obstacle. I'm seeing the number 7 in my mind's eye. So I think it was Soul Path, was it 2 that had the number 7? I think that if you're coming from Soul Path 2, this is remembering why you did it. And there could be this energy of doubt that comes through. That could be the obstacles that you're doubting this. You're doubting, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And yeah, second guessing it a little bit. So I think there's a call to remember why you're doing something, because I feel whatever it is that comes in that you are inspired by, possibly a new adventure, a new experience, travel, new business, even though it might be a little scary and daunting to overcome, it's just about this moment in time at this moment, in this moment. And remembering why you started taking steps in this direction in the first place, to not be scared by the obstacle, because this is part of your growth. This is part of your becoming and your unfolding, as well as part of the experience of this journey that you're on. And also there's a sense of committing yourself to yourself, to your purpose, to the thing that you are remembering. It's like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. That's why I needed this. That's why my soul has asked me to take this journey, and to commit to that purpose, commit to that mission, commit to that inspiration, because that is what's going to help you overcome this blockage. So what else for this pile, please? Beacon. Yes. I think that your mission and purpose and your why is going to be your beacon on this journey. And we do have a little bit of a storm energy here. So don't think that the storm is proof that you're not supposed to be here. Don't think that the obstacle in your way, or the doubt, or the uncertainty is an indication that you shouldn't continue. That is just simply proof of growth, and really allowing ourselves to recommit to the path, especially if we are being called to it, and finding a port in the storm, especially when we're moving through turbulent energy. We may need to buckle down a little bit for a time to kind of consider how we overcome this obstacle, to really remember why we're doing something, and to figure out how we can recommit ourselves to the path ahead and to push through the obstacles, maybe once a little bit of the storm has cleared. But to find that beacon, that could also be people in your life that are inspiring you along this path, that can remind you of your mission, remind you of your purpose, your goals, your aspirations, because that also might be helpful. Rather than looking at the mountain, is to reconnect within, in that inner light, so that we can be re-inspired once again on the path ahead. So this is what I have for you, my dear obstacle pile. I hope that this additional information was helpful for you. So until next time, I'm sending you love and encouragement along your journey. Stay curious, and I'll see you soon. Hello, my adventure pile number 21. Be open to new experiences. So whichever pile you came from, you're going on an adventure, and it's going to be brand new to you. Whether that is a new way of being, a new way of taking action, or simply something surprising and unexpected that you didn't see. There's an open-heartedness that is required along this journey, so that you're not, bringing the past with you, and experiences that are potentially negative, but I think you're painting with a new brush is what I'm hearing. So yeah, you're not bringing the past with you. You're being open to what could be, new potential, new experiences, new people. So let's get a peek at this adventure. I'm going to keep this really short. What are the new experiences? Closure. Ooh. And reflect. Reflect and closure. So this adventure might bring with it a little bit of reflection, which could bring in some discomfort because you are reflecting on getting out of your comfort zone, reflecting on how you're feeling. Maybe that vulnerability is coming through that's making you feel a little fearful or doubtful or insecure. And so these new experiences are going to really maybe even reflect how you feel about yourself so that you can heal something. It might allow you to reflect on your past so that you can find some kind of closure. So this adventure, I feel, is very emotional in nature, very intuitive in nature as well. I think you're going to be moving at a different speed, at a different pace, possibly with different people, community at the bottom of the deck here. So be open to whatever comes through. Don't shut anything out, because I feel, I sense that these reflections that come through and maybe these shadow pieces that come up is going to help you heal them and release them so that you can gain closure from them, so that you can understand them and get to know them. And that in itself is an adventure. That in itself is a new experience. And that is the stepping stone to the bigger adventure that you could possibly have. So connect and cultivate at the bottom of the deck. But yeah, this is looking in the depths. And I smile because it's just such a curiosity here. I think you're going to find a lot of things down there once you start reflecting, once you start looking for something in unexpected places. And this is a new experience for this rabbit, because this rabbit is usually bouncing around in the grass. And this rabbit is connecting to something different, connecting to something deeper, so that it can be more understood, explored. There's a curiosity here, an open-heartedness, of being unafraid of what he might find. So I really think that's going to be helpful for you along this new journey. And with this new shift, it comes with a lot of brand new feelings and brand new experiences. So I love that. And brand new connections. I think to yourself more than anything. So this is what I have for you, my adventure pile. I do hope this resonated and was helpful for your journey ahead. Until next time, I'm sending you love and encouragement on your path. Stay curious, and I'll see you very soon. Hello, my pomegranate pile. You chose the temptation card with the number 45. Alluring thoughts and actions. So that could be in addition to your message where you are following some kind of temptation, or maybe you are tempted to go back to something, you are tempted to take a new direction, you're having some alluring thoughts and taking some different actions, may be misaligned, but may not be. So pay attention is what I'm hearing. Be really mindful of your actions and your thoughts that are fueling these actions. Ego and commit. Yeah. So when we challenge our ego, especially with new things, the ego tries to tempt us back into the comfort zone because it feels unsafe being in new territory. Uncertain, doesn't do well with uncertainty. It wants to feel safe and comfortable. Naturally, it's a human thing. And so sometimes, that just can't be helped. But just be aware of when that comes up. Let's look at this temptation, and I'm going to keep this reading really short. Temptation. What is this temptation in connection to? Okay, yes. So with your unexpected shift and maybe the surprising things that are popping through, you're going to start to realize that you're moving through a very transformational space. And in this in-between of where you're coming from and where you're going, this transition space could bring up a lot of things for you. One more, thank you. Reconnect, yes. And immerse. I think immersion in the experience, again, that mindfulness, that awareness is going to be important. So in this transition space, in the in-between, that's kind of a vulnerable space because we don't know what's next, and we're starting to pull away from the known. It's like we're finally in the boat, moving away from our safe little island, and we're not far enough that we can't go back. We can swim to the shore really easily. But we also know we're also unsure of where the boat is taking us. So there's almost this panic that sets in, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So I think that there's going to be this moment within this transition period, or maybe within these shifts that happen, where you have a moment to think a little too much, and it's like, oh my goodness, what am I doing? The logic starts coming back online, and you're starting to swim back to shore because you want to get back to the comfort zone of what you know, because what you're doing, you're really not sure where it's going to take you. So just be mindful of that, and reconnect with maybe your purpose, maybe your mission, maybe the reason why you are accepting and welcoming these unexpected shifts or surprising things in your life, opening yourself up to new opportunities, because maybe you do need something different. And when you get back to that safe little island, you're going to understand, like, there's that call again, there's that pull again, and you're going to start that process over. So before making any decisions, I think there's a requirement or a need or a guidance to take pause before making any decisions one way or the other, to reconnect with why it is you want to do something, or why you were called to take a certain path or take up on an opportunity that you're being presented with. There's a why here, there's a purpose here, there is a feeling and an instinct or an intuition, and let that be your guide. So maybe this isn't the right time. So maybe you need to listen to that call to go back to shore until such time you feel a little more ready. Or maybe you're deciding, no, because when I go back there, it's just going to be the same old stuff. So I'm just going to keep going. But having that space, that time to be able to reflect on that, I think is going to be the most important thing. And through that, you are going to find your answer. So, courage. Yeah, I mean, this just tells me, I know what it tells me. I don't want to tell you what it tells me, but you can maybe glean your own insights from this. But to me, the temptation of getting off this cliff is, it's kind of scary, right? He's up, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of feet. He's going on this path, no indicator as to where he's going. So, does he go back and get off the mountain? Or does he keep going and see where it goes? In order to keep going, you have to have the courage and the trust within yourself to do that. Also, the commitment and having the actions and the appropriate mindset to be able to move forward. And yeah, those doubts are going to be there. Listen to those doubts. Take pause and listen. Is this something I really need to consider? Is this, are there choices that I need to make in order to move in a different direction to relieve some kind of discomfort or sense of safety or risk that I have to bring back into balance? Or is this just fear of what's not known? And can I keep going? Can I muster the courage to keep going and to see what happens, rather than be ruled by fear, stress, or anxiety, or temptation to go back to the comfort zone, to go back to what's known, or to take a new path because it looks easier or it's been laid out for you. But I feel something new is growing in this space. So don't be afraid of the journey, especially if it's feeling correct and it feels aligned and it feels intuitively guided. So this is what I have for you, my dear temptation path. I do hope that helped you a little bit and offered you a little bit more guidance along your journey. Feel free to share. Until next time, I'm sending you love and encouragement on your path. Stay curious, and I'll see you next time.